Oh yeah, kill all the white man. Oh yeah, more yeah, kill
Hello.
all the
I
white
know
man.
it's been a while since I've made a video. Quite a while. I've been working on some projects. Part of it you just saw. I won't go into detail right now, but I will tell you, because everybody always asks, what does the 8 represent? Or what does the 8 mean? Well, God created the world in 6 days, rested on the 7th. It was the 8th day that we got to experience the fullness of God and His creation. So 8 represents new beginnings. And it also happens to be that it's estimated that 8% of the population of the United States are felons, which is like 27 million people. So it kind of works out. Now, there's a lot going on, a lot I don't want to talk about, a lot that I do want to talk about. The United States is a republic, a nation of laws. Our problems throughout history with this country, our first civil war, our current problems, are because we don't obey our own constitution. We fought an entire war, killing hundreds of thousands of fellow citizens because we all men are created equal. Some of us couldn't accept that, and so a lot of people had to die. And we're at that point again where this country is not obeying the Constitution. It's not obeying the law. We have churches being shut down. You're not allowed to congregate. And people aren't allowed to arm themselves. I'm one of those 27 million, right? Now, the police aren't required to protect you. That's been a court decision. So, if someone's being raped, robbed, murdered, cops are not required to do anything about it. This is one of the reasons we have the Second Amendment, is in order to defend ourselves. But some of us are told that we're not allowed to defend ourselves because these illegal laws have been passed. Now, we have politicians that blatantly violate the law, and we see this, and they get away with it. And I won't even get into police officers or the big one, ATF, which is, their very existence is unconstitutional. Like, they're there to enforce firearm laws, right? And no laws are to be created regarding firearms, yet the ATF exists, which means it's an entire department of criminals. But we won't even get into that right now. So, police aren't required to protect us. Me, I'm not allowed to protect myself. If I do, if I get a firearm to protect my family, I'll go to prison, and then I won't be there to protect my family. So, you know, I'm kind of in between a rock and a hard place. I guess that's what friends are for, and hopefully neighbors, but you can't count on people. It's been shown over and over again. Masks, I mean, come on. So we have that going on. And for these groups like communism, Marxism to work, they have to get God out of the picture, because our rights are given to us by God. We set up the government to protect our rights. Ironically, the government is violating our rights. Again, that's why we have the Second Amendment. So we have Marxists and communists on the street threatening us. We have the government threatening us. And all we want to do is live our life, you know, the way God intends us to. And the Marxists and communists have to get God out of our lives in order to win. Because, well, when our rights are being taken from us, who do we ask God for help? and then we go squash the puny little devil worshippers, or whatever you want to call them, Marxists, communists. We go take care of them. The government, we got these Democrat governors, mayors. They don't want God in our lives either. They're shutting down churches, and they're saying, "Oh, it's for our protection," and courts are upholding these illegal mandates, these illegal, unconstitutional mandates. And we're supposed to count on the next election or the next court decision. And just remember, the Supreme Court upheld slavery, right? It's upheld abortion, murdering of citizens. And we just had a kid have to defend himself in the street. And for all you people out there, you militia and whatever, yeah, the felon had a gun. He had a right to own a gun. If you believe in the Constitution, he had a right to own that gun. The dumbass did not have a right to point it at that kid. The kid had every right to shoot the guy that was threatening his life. He blew his arm off. The only thing I see that kid did wrong, Kyle, was he didn't put a second bullet in that guy's head. But here we are again, not obeying the Constitution, people walking all over our God-given rights. And at some point, there is a breaking point. There always is. And it's coming. People like me have to decide, do I arm myself now and risk persecution? Or do I wait until the shit hits the fan and arm myself? Both are options, and it depends on where you're at and who you know and stuff. Waiting until after shit hits the fan, it may not be an option for everybody. But the government's not going to protect you. The police are not going to protect you. It's been decided that it's not their job. And there's people dialing 911 and the cops aren't showing up. You look at these cities, they're on fire. And the cops aren't protecting people. So, what do? Right now, I'm moving forward, probably stupidly, and I'm going to be doing t-shirts and such to try to raise money to fight for rights in court again. We will see. Till next time.